came very short. Okay. Abuja, we have the owner of Niger Ratel Football Club right here in the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Paul Ede, joining us to talk to us about the triumph of Nigeria Super Falcons at the just concluded Africa Women Championship in Morocco. So let's take it straight away. When Nigeria were down by 2-0 in the first 45 minutes, were you one of those who thought it was over?
Well, being a founder of two women's football club and a consistent sponsor of a women's club pre-season tournament, I can tell you that I know that when it comes to women's football, until the final whistle is blown, I never say the game is over. I anticipated that the girls were going to come back. They were going to give it their best fight. As to whether they would win, it was really uncertain because, one, they were playing against a home crowd. They were playing against a good team. They were also under intense pressure regarding what was expected of them with the Project X that was overhyped by Nigerians. So I thought it was going to be a very difficult challenge for them, and indeed it was. But at the end of the day, we triumphed.
Well, congratulations to all of us, I must say. You know, I don't know. The saying is, if it's congratulations to all of us, I hope we get the $100,000 US dollars equivalent in Naira that the president has promised them. Well, that was just by the way. Well, Abuja, once again, we have Barrister Paul Ede, who is the founder and CEO of Niger Ratels FC right here in the FCT. Niger Ratels, by the way, is a team that competes in the NWFL, which is the premiership in the Nigerian League. Now, yesterday, no one, I don't know if you were expecting that, Barrister. No one thought the president could do what he did. I mean, gifting the girls a 3-bedroom apartment in an estate here, and also gifting them each 100,000 US dollars. They also conferred on them the award of OON. I don't know. Some people are saying this is too big for the girls, too much for the girls. Hello, Barrister.
Well, what is ever too much? To reward the kind of labor, the effort. You don't know the tension for a game that could get the president of our country tense, for a game that could get the first lady not cooking for her husband, knowing that he had worked all day long.
Yes.
For a game that the whole nation was at a standstill. I do not think that the president even did enough. But you see, when you have a country that we have consistently have leaders who have who don't understand the concept of a reward system, and you now have a leader who understands what it entails to reward efforts such as this, people who complain, we're not used to it. But in other crimes, they give even far more. It's like Nigerians don't even understand the earnings of a footballer across the globe. So what the president did was not only rewarding the girls, but also attaching a premium to the efforts they had made in putting our nation in world map. You see, like it's often like Usain Bolt will say, it took Usain Bolt almost about a decade to be able to run a race of less than a minute. And today he's in the Guinness World Book of Records. The same thing we have done for this, these girls have done for this country. So I think that it is the joy and happiness that encapsulate the victory and the success they achieved by winning this trophy for the 10th time that the president was trying to express. And I think that as Nigerians, we should be happy. Look at what happened when Super Eagles did not qualify for the last World Cup. You see how the nation was on its knees. Everybody kept complaining. But now that these girls have given us the victory that we need, I think nothing is too much. Gifting them 150 million plus for each of the player out of the effort they have made, I think is not too much. You see, when you are not one of those who invest in the game, you won't understand the pressure that comes with winning. And I think that the president did very well by rewarding these girls. And of course, it's also kudos to the Nigerian Football Federation under the amiable leadership of Alhaji Ibrahim Gusso, who have proven once again that when we as Nigerians set to do a thing, we have the capacity to do it. And it's also a booster for football and sports generally in Nigeria. I believe if it was Moroccans that won this tournament, they would have been gifted nothing less than 500K per player.
It's possible.
That is the enthusiasm with which football is practiced across the globe. And I think that the president did well by honoring them with national honors, with, of course, the gift of a house and indeed the cash prizes. I am grateful to the president. We are grateful to him. And more of it if they win again and again. I think if the right precedent has been set by Mr. President and the First Lady.
Thank you very much. And I would like to drop from your experience as a club owner in the highest level of women football in Nigeria. You know, I know a lot of attention now will now be on, the women football in Nigeria. Tell us how has it been being a club owner, a women club owner in Nigeria? The investment, what it takes, and how does it benefit you? How has it been benefiting you?
Well, the benefit of being a club owner in Nigeria is that we'll get a few airtime to be able to talk about women's football. But in terms of having the return on investment and having the box commensurate with the level of investment we have made, it's very, very difficult. There's a thin line between investing in women's football and reaping the profit that you desire. For me, I believe that one of the biggest benefits of investing in women's football is the fact that you see these girls happy. You see some of these girls who are the breadwinners in their homes being able to send back money back home. And of course, the game of football is one that comes with a lot of traction and attraction. That for me is the benefit. Of course, I've had a couple of players over the years travel abroad, but unlike the male football category where you reap in millions of dollars, the women's category is far less than that. And that's why some of us have over the years insisted that there should be some level of parity in pay for the male and the women's soccer. Otherwise, in the next couple of years, in Nigeria particularly, you will find a situation where investors in the women's game might draw back. And indeed, this has happened over time. Imagine paying a minimum salary for a month for those of us who really engage in the actual practice of paying these girls very well. You spend nothing less than 5 to 10 million naira monthly for salary, wage, and overhead costs. And if you consider that within a year, you would be spent, especially in the course of the league, there's no way you execute your league without spending an upward of 200 to 300 million if you are indeed investing in the game and you are not getting a commensurate value for your investment. It is really discouraging. And that's why some of us have also advocated that if government does not come to the aid of private club owners, particularly those that have women's football, it is indeed going to go extinct someday.
Now, let's say the federal government is listening to you now. How can they be of help to the private club owners?
Well, first is to be deliberate about giving, just like the president gave to these girls. He damned the consequences. I think that it is necessary that we encourage the women's game, just like Morocco has done. The minimum budget for the Moroccan government for women's football, I mean, the clubs, is a direct intervention to the clubs, is over $80 million
Wow.
per year.
Direct
And if
intervention.
Morocco, direct intervention. So for me, I envisage a situation where, how many clubs do we have playing in the league today? We have 16 clubs in the Premiership, about 20 clubs in the Championship, and the grassroots clubs that are playing in the nationwide league are less than 20. So imagine if the 16, of course, this season is going to be 20. The federal government directly intervenes by giving, particularly to the privately owned clubs, it will boost the league. It will encourage club owners. Those I pity really are those that engage in just the business of women's football without an alternative business. They suffer it a great deal. FC Robo, for instance, funds his club from his own private pocket and relying on the benevolence of Nigerians, particularly Lagosians, to be able to execute his league. Someone like Danas have an alternative business. And of course, if you're doing a business that is not returning you don't get a return on investment, certainly you concentrate your effort on the business that brings in more money.
Yeah.
So my appeal will be for the federal government, through the National Sports Commission, have a direct intervention by way of giving to the clubs participating in the league, irrespective of whether or not they are state-owned. That way, I believe that we will have the very best in years to come.
Okay, and if we are to envisage that the federal government are going to invest, I think these are the kind of results, the kind of outcomes that can, encourage the federal government to put in more, knowing fully well that thousands of youth are employed gainfully via this particular sport and via the women's league and all the likes of it. Looking at the Super Falcons, finally, the captain says their next target will be to win the World Cup. Do you think this is just she's just saying it because she wants Nigerians to be happy, or you think it's possible? And if it's possible, how can we get it done?
Well, first, the Super Falcons have proven that they are truly the champions of Africa. They're truly the best of the best. And if you look at most of the players that you see playing today, they are doing well in their various clubs, wearing the first 11 shirts in their various clubs. So they are not doing badly. I think where we have a major problem is with preparation. Yes, it is one thing to be confident about playing. Thankfully, you are also a coach, and you understand that when you come to the field of play, you don't know the strategy of your opponent, no matter how much you may have studied them. You don't know what would happen next. So I think that it has to do with a lot of preparation, not just for the players, but also for the coaching crew. Because we have these days a situation where most countries implement the practice of football using technology.
Yes.
How much would you coaches today are inclined to use such technology? It is not rocket science. It has to do with deliberate effort. The same way the president has shown some deliberate commitment by rewarding these girls. That kind of commitment should also be shown in training these girls, scouting for more girls, strengthening the team so that we feel the very best of the best. It is not about the big football. It's no longer about the big names. If you look at a team like the Spanish national team, for instance, you have a bunch of young girls playing like Dick. You have the same thing with South Africa. South Africa in this tournament fielded a few old legs. Literally more than 80% of the players you see today are young players. So I think that the World Cup is still far ahead of us. But in spite of that, there's need for us to get it right by ensuring that we bring out the very best of the best and make sure that these girls train together, work together, and play more international friendlies. Otherwise, we will end up like we did in the last Women's World Cup. But I believe that with the kind of resilience they showed and the commitment they showed in the WAFCON, they have all it takes. But we'll need to work more because the world stage is a different climate entirely.
So you're saying we, Nigeria, the Super Falcons, have what it takes to win the FIFA World Cup?
I believe they have it.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. It's been our pleasure, speaking with you tonight, Abuja. That's the voice of Barrister Paul Ede, who's been speaking to us for close to 30 minutes now. He's the founder and CEO of Niger Rattle FC, a Nigerian women's football club based here in the Federal Capital Territory, which competes in the NWFL, which is the premiership when it comes to women football in Nigeria. He's also a philanthropist. He's also the chairman of Benue State Football Association. He also founded a pre-season which has been hosted in Abuja severally for women football, and I must say it's one of the most organized women football pre-season, across the country. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us tonight, and may we continue to have more success with women football.
So much. Bumi Blair.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. All right, Abuja. Well, we go for a short break. When we come back, you will have the chance to also have your say on the comments made by Barrister Paul Ede. And not forgetting, I have already seen some of your messages. Some of you agree with him, some do not. Well, that's why we call it a frenzy. You have your chance to have your say. Don't go anywhere.
More talk, news, and sports after this.